Hey, what's up, everybody? It is almost Christmas. I am so excited. I love Christmas. It's my favorite. I like it more than my birthday. It's incredible. But anyway, I wanted to take a video to tell you guys about my horrible slash awesome vacation that I just went on for Thanksgiving. And it was awesome. I got to see my family. I got to see my nephew, Clark. It was great to see my brother and his wife, Christina, and they were awesome. But a couple horrible things happened. I mean, there was a lot of great things because we got to go out. We got to go hang out in Seattle. We got to see Tina, my brother's wife's sister, April. It was cool seeing her. But a couple horrible things happened, let me tell you. For one, right when I landed, my brother got a flat tire on the side of a freeway. Tina picked me up, and then we had to actually go by what's called a star. It's a way to get the nuts off the tire so that you can change the tire. And so we had to go by a star. We met him on the side of the freeway. So things already started in craziness. And then once we got to our first hotel, we couldn't park the trailer there. So we had to search for another hotel for about an hour. So that was crazy. Then we got to Texas, and really sad news. While we were in Texas, I barely told anybody this, but while we were in Texas, my grandma passed away, and that, of course, puts a damper on your vacation time. I mean, I know that she's in heaven, and I know that there is that she's having, a blast in heaven. That we're all, of course, as a family, happy that she's in heaven because she was in pain while she was here. And the good part is we were able to actually see her. We were able to see her before she went to heaven and before she passed away. But of course, that puts a little bit of a damper on your vacation. Not saying that my grandmother is a damper at all. I love my grandmother. I think she's awesome. She's amazing. But it gets worse. So on the way to Washington, we still had to pursue because my brother was moving from Florida to Washington. I'm sorry. So vacation, I flew to Florida, and that's where the pop tire happened. We drove to Texas, and then from Texas, we drove to Washington. So on the way to Washington, while we were driving, our trailer actually fell off the hitch while it was raining and while we were driving through the mountains. So it was not very exciting. I remember looking back, and there were sparks on the floor, and I was like, hey bro, there's sparks on the floor. My brother was driving, man. And I remember he was like, oh yeah, the trailer came up. I don't know what it is with my family, but in crazy situations, we're like normal. We're just like, oh, all right, get ready. So the trailer fell off the hitch, and of course started banging left and right while we were driving. And I've seen this happen before. I've seen trucks like turn over before from it. I've seen cars fly across the freeway from it. On the 91, a truck flew across the freeway. But anyway, so that happened. Of course, the trailer fell off the hitch. It started going. We got control of it again, but it totally came off. And then my brother had to actually use his truck to stop the trailer. It was a crazy situation. We were on the side of the road trying to put the trailer back on there. But amazingly, there was no damage to the trailer or the truck. It's Psalm 91. Prayers, people. So my vacation was pretty crazy. Of course, my grandmother passing away was the worst part about the vacation, the saddest part about the vacation. But I mean, it was a good vacation. And let me tell you why. In the Bible, in John chapter 11, it talks, this is the scripture where, Lazarus dies, and Jesus is sad, Mary and Martha are sad, everybody's crying, and they're even asking Jesus, like, how come you weren't able to be there? And I would just want to point out real quick, when you're a Christian and people pass away, I want you to know it's okay to be sad. I mean, of course we're going to see them again in heaven, but I mean, you are allowed to be sad. You know that you're going to see them, but I mean, it's just a thing that I think a lot of Christians misinterpret about that is not to be, some people tell people not to be sad, but it's like, of course you can be sad. But Jesus tells them this. In verse 25, it says, I am the resurrection and the life. Anyone who believes in me will live even after dying. Anyone who lives in me and believes in me will never die. And he asked Martha if he believes this. And this is one of the verses that I love, because this verse, and there's a ton of other verses in there, but it's like a promise of things to come. It's a promise of heaven. And that's the reason why this vacation was good, was because I know that my grandmother knew Jesus, and I know that she's in heaven. And if you have somebody that passed away, I mean, if you don't think that they knew Jesus, I mean, there's always a chance that they could have met somebody that helped them to learn. So, I mean, there's always a chance that you can see your loved one in heaven. But the thing about this is, I noticed when my grandmother passed away, and we were all there, of course it was a crazy moment, but what made it a good vacation was when she passed away, it kind of drew the family together. And that's really the big thing with family, is when you lose somebody, it unifies the rest of the family. And really, that's the awesome thing about being in the family of God, is that you have people in your family that you're unified together with, that are there for you, that can help you in situations when you come across a loss in your family, when you come across things. There's the family of God that is there to help you with whatever you need. But today I just wanted to make a video, really to kind of hopefully encourage you guys, if you have lost somebody in the past, to know that they're in heaven. They're there. I mean, like, they're having a great time. They're gonna see you again soon. Like, it's okay to miss them. I mean, if you don't know they're in heaven, there's always a chance they could have met somebody that could have gotten them saved, that they could have prayed with, that they could have gotten there. But one thing I learned from this whole situation is to draw closer to your family and to draw closer to your friends. And I think that's something that we all need to do. That's a lot of times what people's biggest thing is, to, when stuff like this happens, is to push people away. But really, we need to be closer as a family, especially in the family of God. We need to be closer to our godly family, and we need to talk to people. We need to get this stuff out of our systems, in a sense. But I hope this video helped you guys. I hope if you have gone through something like this, I mean, which everybody basically has, that this video helps you a little bit with what to expect as a Christian, to expect that your loved ones are in heaven, pretty much partying with Jesus, having a way better time than we're having down here. But I love you guys. I think this video already went way past how long I wanted it to go, but I love you. I'll talk to you later. Peace.